There is a special kind of silence that comes after a birthday. Not the loud kind, not the one with music and cake and people laughing. This one comes the morning after, when everyone has gone home, when the messages have stopped, when the room is quiet again, and you are lying in bed, looking at the ceiling, and you think to yourself, so, this is 30, his name was Arjun, and on the morning of his 30th birthday, he sat on the edge of his bed, in the back room of his uncle's house. He picked up his old sandals, the same ones he had worn for 3 years. He slowly turned one in his hand, as if it carried more than weight, as if it carried time. Outside, the village was already awake. He could hear someone chopping wood, a rooster calling in the distance, his aunt moving pots in the kitchen. Normal sounds, the same sounds every morning, but this morning felt different, heavier. Arjun sat there longer than usual, holding the sandal in his hand, not moving, not thinking of anything specific, just sitting there, feeling the quiet pressure of his life. Arjun had always believed he would leave one day, not because he hated it, but because he believed his life would become something more. He studied harder than anyone, stayed awake late into the night, learning, preparing, waiting. He taught himself things no one around him knew. He sent letters, made plans, held on to hope. And yet, here he was, 30 years old, still in the same room, still wearing the same sandals. He did not feel sorry for himself. That would have been easier. At least, sadness gives you something to fight. What he felt was different. It felt like fog, quiet, unclear, heavy. He had done everything right. He had been patient. He had prayed. He had taken every chance life offered him, even the small ones, even the uncertain ones. He had kept going, quietly, faithfully. One morning, he walked to the well, filled his bucket, and passed old Mina sitting in her doorway. She was always there, working with her hands, never rushing, never waiting. She looked at him, studied his face, and said gently, "You look heavy." "I'm fine," he replied. She nodded and returned to her work, as if she understood something he did not. Arjun continued walking, but her words stayed with him. That afternoon, his cousin Rajan came to visit, with his wife and their newborn child. Rajan had a job, a motorcycle, a life that was moving forward. Arjun held the baby carefully, smiled when people looked at him, said all the right things, but when he handed the baby back and looked out toward the river, something passed through him. Not jealousy, not regret, something quieter, like watching a bus leave and realizing you were not on it. That evening, he walked alone to the river, sat on the old stone. The sky slowly darkened above him. The water moved gently, unconcerned, unhurried. He sat there for a long time, thinking, wondering. Had he missed something? Had life opened a door, and he failed to see it? Had he made a choice, without knowing what it would cost? Or was this simply his path? Ordinary, quiet, still. A week later, he met an old man named Ramdev, a former teacher, a quiet man, a man who had lived long enough to understand things others did not. Ramdev watched him work, said nothing at first, then asked, "How old are you?" 30, Arjun said. Ramdev nodded slowly. "That is a difficult age," he said. "The age when you realize life does not move on your schedule." Arjun stopped. He had never heard it said that way before. Ramdev looked out across his small field. "I spent years believing I was behind," he said. "I thought the silence meant I had failed. I thought God had forgotten me," he paused, "and I was wrong." Ramdev looked out across his small field. "I spent years believing I was behind," he said. "I thought the silence meant I had failed. I thought God had forgotten me," He paused. And I was wrong. That night, Arjun lay awake again, looking at the ceiling, but something had shifted. The weight was still there, but it no longer felt like judgment. It felt like truth. He realized something quietly. Rajan was not ahead of him. They were walking different roads, different timelines, different stories. He had been measuring his life, using someone else's clock, someone else's milestones, someone else's path. And no one wins that way. He thought about old Mina, shelling peas every morning, never rushing, never chasing, just present, just living. He thought about Ramdev's field, small, uneven, but alive, growing quietly, without applause, without permission. And a new thought entered his mind. Softly, gently. Maybe nothing was wrong. Maybe this was growth. Because a seed underground looks like nothing. No movement, no proof, no progress. But beneath the surface, everything is changing. Roots are forming. Strength is building. Life is preparing itself. Even when no one sees it. Even when no one believes it. Understanding this did not fix everything. His room was the same. His life was the same. His questions were still there. But something inside him was different. Before, he felt behind. Now, he simply felt in progress. And that changed everything. Weeks passed, then months. Nothing dramatic happened. No miracle. No sudden breakthrough. Just small days. Quiet days. Honest days. Arjun began helping children in the village, teaching them how to read. Not for money, not for recognition. Just because he could. Just because it mattered. One evening, a young girl finished reading her first full page. She looked up at him, smiled, and in that moment, he felt something he had not felt in years. Purpose. Not loud purpose, not world-changing purpose. Quiet purpose. Real purpose. His purpose. He realized something important. Life does not always move forward in leaps. Sometimes, it moves forward in inches, invisible inches, and the waiting season is not empty. It is preparation. It is foundation. It is becoming. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not failing. You are growing, even now, even here. Some paths do not begin with clarity. They begin with uncertainty. They begin with patience. They begin with faith. And one day, you will look back and realize nothing was wasted. Everything was preparing you. So if your life feels quiet right now, trust it. You are not stuck. You are becoming. If this story spoke to you, you are not alone. Comment below with one word: waiting, building, or becoming. And if you are walking your path quietly, subscribe. This channel was made for you.